I'm Mad Zach, and welcome to my extended tutorial on finger drumming. So you've probably seen a lot of videos of people on YouTube and seen people playing live, playing all the beats in real time. And what that is they're triggering, you know that? What am I talking about? Let's just dive into business, okay? I'm gonna tell you how I set up the samples. I'm gonna tell you how I hold my body and position myself so that I can practice and develop good muscle memory. Additionally, I'm gonna give you a ton of beats and things to practice. So anyways, first things first, a lot of people start out, with their controller straight up right in front of them. That doesn't really work for me. I find that my best results come when I tilt it 90 degrees to the left and form a diamond configuration. There's a lot of ergonomics that go into practicing finger drumming because you're developing muscle memory. And what that means is that you're gonna hold your body in a specific, particular way whenever you practice so that it just becomes second nature. You're not thinking about like, oh, where are the sounds or what is going on? You always know how to play the beat and how to throw things in on top of it, regardless of what you're working with. It's very important that you hold your wrist, not all contorted and weird. You want it to be straight, basically, level right here. And then you can tilt your hand so that it's comfortable. You don't want to be like up. That's the one thing I see a lot of people make the mistake. They like hold their wrist up. And you don't want to hold a lot of tension. So you just want to dangle it so you can do a little wiggle comfortably with your fingers. You also don't want it to be side to side, straight on. You got your two hands like that. You want your back, sitting up straight. If you're standing, the same kind of deal. It really doesn't matter if you sit or stand. And you know what? I think I'm just talking too much at this point about it, and we just need to dive in. So here's the sounds. Got your kick, snare, secondary snare or clap, splash, hi-hat or shaker. Little percussion sound. A lot of the times I have these change whenever I hit it, and I use them a lot for this type of beat. That sort of thing. And then these are usually somewhat interchangeable. This one I often use right at the end of a phrase, so I'll be like, okay, moving on. We have our primary bass line right here. Secondary bass line. And this is sort of what I call the turnaround or third bass line part. I oftentimes use this sparingly, sort of when I'm like having my, dum 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 or something like that. Moving up, we have our pads or atmospheres up on these two, and then our two sort of B section, I call it. In normal music composition, you have your bridge, which is something that's a little bit different, that happens after the chorus and then the chorus happens again, and all that good stuff. So these you can always play over my pads, and oftentimes this one in particular is an extension. It's almost like a third atmosphere. So you got all that, and then it culminates into this nice build or riser that I can use to create a build. The build I use a lot to do transitions from packs to packs, and I also use it to do builds and breakdowns as well. And I think the one button I forgot to mention was this guy. Now in this pack, this is a little bit of an irregularity. Oftentimes I use a secondary kick here, but I still play it the same way. So that's the cool thing, is regardless of what sound you have loaded, you can still That's actually one of my favorite beats to do. So I like putting like something that's not a drum sound on this one, just because for me the flow of this beat is really easy to do. So it's cool to experiment with different sounds on that pad. So yeah, that's how I have the sounds laid up in most of the sound packs. Once in a while there's an exception, but I try to keep the where I put the different parts at the same places so that I can always have my hand in this configuration, and I kind of move up to the build and then come back down to the drop. In terms of positioning relative, I don't know if I already talked about that. Oh yeah. I did. No, I didn't. Okay. So anyways, in terms of like how close you want to be, that kind of makes a big difference. You don't want to be like over here messing around on your computer and then be like, ugh. I mean, you can do it, but I wouldn't recommend that for practicing. And also, you know, if you're too close, that's not good either. So the right distance, you know, your elbows are kind of relaxed at a right angle or a little bit tighter. You know, you can almost do like a dinosaur arms kind of thing. That's it in terms of ergonomics and layout. Next step, I'd say, is to dive into some beats that you can actually practice. I'm going to show you also what fingers I use for which thing. The right hand, the funky beats, right? That's how I kind of like, I express and move the song around and change the attitude. And then the left hand is more of the orchestrator. You know, it's more of the conductor of the symphony. It's kind of moving you through the different parts of the song, very logical, and okay, next we're going to go to the bass line, right? Left hand. So, you know, you go. That in store, I think you're ready to play some beats. So we're going to start it off simple, and I'm just going to work up and just give you a ton of different beats that you can play.
Bye.